Hey, what's up? It's me, Haley Jones with eXp Realty, and this is your June 2021 market update. So, what is happening in the Knox area real estate market? This includes Knox County, Blount County, um, Loudoun County, basically counties surrounding Knox and including Knox. So, let's get going. First of all, you've probably heard inventory is low. And when we look at this graph, so this is obviously January 2020 to May 2021. So this is the end of May, right? We can see that in red, those are active listings. So we'd see how there was like a major downturn in active listings. However, we see that what the positive thing about this graph is showing is that new listings are coming up, which is awesome. And sold listings pretty kind of the same, a little bit down, but this kind of shows that yes, our number of listings have been decreasing, but the positive is from December we see a steady increase of more listings coming on the market, so that is great. That means people are more comfortable to list. That means, we're getting sellers that are ready and not as afraid as they were back when we were kind of in the thick of 2020 with the pandemic and all that. Okay, so let's talk about prices. I'm sure you've heard that prices are up, which they are. Let's look at this graph. So we see that active, new, and sold prices are all up. So all three of these are up. Notice this median list price increase, and that's kind of in line with this active prices. So we see that the median list price was kind of bottomed out, which doesn't really make sense considering this was actually when we had lowest inventory in these months. But now we see that these median list prices are coming in line with the active. So again, active here and then median. So also notice that sold prices are increasing, which makes sense because if we're asking more, then they're likely going to be selling for more. However, I do think in the next couple of months, we're going to see this sold prices kind of level out as well as the active if and when more homes come on the market. So, absorption rate. So this is basically how we tell how many months of inventory. Another way to say this is if no more homes were to come on the market today, when would we be out? So this is at the end of May 2021, saying 1.5 months. So if no more homes come on the market and we were continuing at the same pace, we would be out of homes to sell in 1.5 months. So 45 days. That is a very short time. This is a huge indicator of what we call a seller's market. And I just want to point out that in January of 2020, we were at 3 months of absorption. Now, a balanced market is considered around 6 months of inventory. So we were already in January 2020 in a crazy seller's market. So this has been amplified the past year and a half because of the pandemic, less homes coming on the market, people feeling concerned and unsure of what's going to happen in the future. And so we saw a massive drop. The positive thing about this is we're seeing an increase from April to May, and hopefully May to June we'll continue to see that increase. This means that hopefully buyers have a better chance of getting into a home. So, I mean, I think hopefully we won't see this go back down any further, but who can tell? So, sold to list ratio. So, notice here that this is basically saying the sold price versus the list price. What's the ratio between those? And notice in May, we were over 100%. That means homes were selling over list price. So I just want to point out for buyers, you want to be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Okay. Because homes are going over ask. This is not a situation in most cases where you're going to lowball and get the home. Get the home that you're wanting. If you really want it, be aggressive. And also, if you are kind of scared and shy away from, multiple offer situations, then I would say maybe you want to put your home hunt on the pause. But we can talk about that in a bit. Okay. What about days on market? This number is insane. I'm going to show you median days. So this is average days on market in mid 20s, which is nothing. And I just want to point out that even in such low inventory back in January 2020, we were still looking at an average just below 50 days. And even though that inventory was decreasing, we saw that, basically we saw that, there were some increase in days on the market. That was as of April, right? So I think this is when we're in the thick of Corona. We're just over 50 days. And then we just see a massive drop. But even now, we're even lower, which is crazy. And then the median days on market is 3. So those median price point homes, the majority of homes are selling under or going under contract in less than 20 days, and median 3 days. It's crazy, literally insane. All right, so here are some key takeaways and stats. And this over here is the overall change. This final column. So we see that the absorption rate, which we know is in half compared to a year ago today. Check out these average list prices. We're up about 11%. What's interesting is the median list price is down just a little bit. So that's kind of interesting. But then look at our sales prices, almost 30% higher. Average sale price, and then median sale price about 24% higher. So definite price increase. And then again, noticing our days on market. So we have half the number of homes for sale right now compared to this time last year, which is crazy. That's what we see with the absorption rate. Days on market are staggering because even this was low. 2 weeks, that's such a short time, but now we're seeing 3 days. So that is literally insane. So finally, let's talk about price points. So I just wanted to show you this. So depending on where you're looking to sell or buy, I wanted to give you some information about how price point, specific parts are looking. So you can see here, this is 0 to 99,000, 100,000 to 149.9, etc. So right here in red, this is our median price point. So again, median price point was at 265,500. So that falls in line in this category, right? Notice sold listings. Look how we are outpacing. So part of the inventory problem is also that we are way outpacing what we did last year. This time last year, today, except we're not having these same number of homes come on the market, right? And so that's one of the huge problems. Even like this is for the year 2021 versus 2020. And so I show you this because these homes, these are gone quick. Median days on market, 3, right? So pretty much we're seeing crazy, crazy, crazy competition, anything really under 500. And then it does ease up dependent on area. But I will say the only place where we see a decrease are in the 0 to 100,000 and 100 to 149. Both of these are negative, right? And so the only place where we have seen that is those price points, which tells me, oh, and also we see over here on 150 to 199, a negative, but just 6% less. So, and that's the year to date. And you can see that by month as well. So major competition, obviously from 200,000 to the 500s, roughly. So if you're in those price points or you're thinking of selling in that $200,000 to $500,000 range, you're going to, on the sell side, you're going to be, you're going to sell quick and you're probably going to sell over ask. And on the buy side, you're going to have to be aggressive and anticipate that you're going to be in a multiple offer situation. So you're wanting to put your best foot forward to begin with. So yeah, so basically every one of these is double digit higher than where we were last year. So what does this mean for you as a seller or a buyer? Okay, so sellers, you got to have a plan. Yes, you need to know what your next step is. Are you going to rent? If you're going to rent, where are you going to rent? Do you need to ask for a lease back when you put that home on the market to give you some more time to find a house? And I will say that it is hard in this day and age to get a home when it's contingent on the sale of your home. So at a minimum, if you need to buy a new house, you want your house that you're selling on the market, period, and ideally under contract when you submit that offer. It is a very hard case to a seller when they're getting offers that are all cash over, and then you bring an offer that's contingent on your home selling, but you haven't even listed it yet. So just bear that in mind. Have a plan. Know what you're looking for, right? And then pricing matters. Even though homes are selling very quickly, you don't want to grossly overprice your home because it's going to sit there. And yes, people are competitive, but if you have a very unique home, you definitely don't want to be overpricing it because it will sit on the market. Even though, again, things are competitive, I would be careful about pricing. I would be conservative. I think it's always better to underprice than overprice. But all that being said, a lot of agents, including myself, would tell you you have no idea what a buyer will pay because a lot of these buyers have been through multiple offer situations. They've put all their chips on the table and they've still lost. So a lot of people are going very aggressive. Don't be scared of those offers. Just make sure you do your due diligence on those offers, that they have proof of funds, that they're secure, etc. And then also, I would say on the sell side, know your terms, know what you're looking for. What is your ideal closing date? Do you want to deal with inspection periods? Are you wanting cash offers? What are you exactly looking for? And you can probably get those things you're looking for. So just bear that in mind as well. Kind of have a plan and execute that plan. And then you can also counter offers. If maybe there's a closing date you don't like, counter it back for an offer that you do like or closing date that you do like. And then marketing still matters. It's still important to get your home in front of the most people as possible because that's going to give you the most offers as possible and on terms that are agreeable to you. So it still matters that you have the professional photography done, that you have the videography done. So your realtor will do those things for you. And definitely be sure to ask how your realtor is going to be marketing your property. Yes, it still matters. I know it's a crazy seller's market, but the more you market the home, the more eyes, the better, the more offers, right? Okay, so let's talk about the buy side. If you're a buyer right now, I just want to say take a deep breath. It is 100% possible for you to be successful right now in this current market, even though it's intense, even though there's multiple offers. You just need to, number one, stay positive and be very clear on what you want. Know that you should have your pre-approval in place. You want to have talked with your lender. You want to know how much you can offer on a house, and you want to be sure about how much money you're willing to put for a down payment as well as earnest money, and just know what costs are coming to you up front. Okay. I would also say that if you are, as an example, on this one, I put competition is fierce, leave room to make an over ask offer. So, in other words, if you are pre approved for $300,000, I would not be looking at homes in the 295s or 300s or even 290s. I would be looking at homes in the 270s, and be able to be aggressive and be also in a position where you could say it doesn't appraise to whatever you offered over, that you have some cash in hand. Now if you don't, it's still totally possible. Hear me when I say that. I would just not advise you to be looking in the 290s to 300 range if your top dollar is 300,000, because you're going to get beat out most of the time. So know that a lot of buyers are making 5 to 7 offers before they win something. Part of this is just a learning curve and not really realizing how aggressive things are. But if you start aggressive from the beginning, you're going to win out sooner than having to make 5 or 7 offers. And then I just want to say, if you love the house, if this is the house, if you walk into it and you're like, this is it, then be aggressive. It is okay. If you are at any point feeling like I'm overpaying for something, then this is not the house for you. Even if you're putting an over ask offer, you don't want to be thinking, oh, I'm just settling, I'm paying more for this. Then that's not the house for you. But if you walk into it and you're like, this is it, then go for it. You have nothing to lose at that point because you're going to be in a house that you love. You don't ever want to be sitting in a house though thinking I paid way too much. And if that's how you're going to it from the offer stage, then I say it's not the house for you. That's just my opinion. We can talk strategy for sure, about what your best, situation is as a seller and a buyer. But these are just some kind of broad tips for everybody. All right. So if you have questions, give me a call. My cell is down here, 865-242-9821. This is my office. This also goes directly to my cell phone. Give me a call. Let's chat. Let's talk about your strategy, whether you're buying or selling. We can get you in the home of your dreams. So that is your June 2021 market update. Sellers, yes, you're likely going to get over ask, and buyers, you got to be aggressive. So until next month, have a good one. And again, if you have questions, give me a shout.